When I started my preparation for IELTS reading and I read the passage for the first time, it took me 20 to 25 minutes only to read the passage, and after that I was able to answer only 7 out of 13 questions correctly. But by the end of my preparation, not only was I able to read the passage but also answer all of the questions correctly in under 18 minutes. And I scored 8.5 band in IELTS reading section. So let me share how I prepared and how it happened. Hello guys, welcome back to Learn with Nasir and Fatma. In this video, I will share some tips that I hope will help you in the preparation of IELTS reading section. IELTS reading task is 1 hour long and consists of 3 passages. These passages can be taken from blogs, newspapers and books, etc. After each passage, you have to answer 13 to 14 questions. There are a total of 40 questions in the reading section. I will not be covering the pattern of questions. They can be true-false questions, completion of sentences, fill in the blanks. They can ask you about the writer's opinion, etc. There is a lot of material online available. You can look it up. I will only be sharing how I prepared and some tips regarding reading section. Even if you are an avid reader, you will find IELTS reading section very difficult due to its versatile topics, tough vocabulary and less time. So I used to read 2 to 3 passages daily without panicking about time. My main focus was to read the passage and understand it fully to answer all of the questions correctly. In the start, it would take me 30 to 35 minutes to read the passage and answer all of the questions correctly. This gave me an idea what kind of questions are asked, where to look for the answers, what is the pattern of the questions, etc. Once I was able to understand the passages and answer all of the questions correctly, then I worked on my speed. While preparing for IELTS, I always kept a watch in my hand. As I told you, it took me almost 30 minutes in the start to read the passage and answer the questions in the end. But after some time, I was able to reduce my time to 25 minutes. Then I worked hard to increase my reading speed and I was able to reduce my timing to 20 minutes. And in the end, I was able to read the passage and answer all of the questions correctly in under 18 minutes. So let's say if I was reading 2 passages daily and I prepared for 4 weeks, then I read almost 56 passages in this whole time. So my first and the most important tip is that practice a lot. Practice makes a man perfect, and in IELTS reading section, you need a lot of practice to answer the questions correctly and to manage your time. My second tip is that skim the passage at first, then quickly go through the questions. After you quickly go through the question, then come back to the passage and read the passage in detail, so that when you are reading the passage, you can look for the answers unconsciously in the passage too. My tip number 3 is that don't spend more than 15 to 18 minutes on one passage. If you are unable to answer all of the questions in 15 to 18 minutes, then just leave, move to the next passage, read it, answer the questions of that passage, and when you are done with all the 3 passages, then you can come back and look for the answers to the questions that you have missed in the first attempt. If you spend too much time on the first passage, then you will not have much time for the second or third passage and you will panic and you will lose marks there. My tip number 4 is that don't try to understand the whole passage. Usually the passage is very long and it's in very difficult vocabulary, so it's very hard to understand and get the whole passage. So when you are reading a passage, let's say it consists of 5 paragraphs. So when you are reading it, just try to title each of the paragraphs so that you know what this paragraph is about. When you are answering the questions, you will have an idea in which paragraph you have to look for the answer. So then you can go back and you can read it in detail or understand it in detail to answer the question. My tip number 5 is that develop good vocabulary and good grammar, because you need very good vocabulary and very extensive vocabulary to read the passage and understand it. And also you will be needing good grammar to answer some questions like completion of sentences, etc. My 6th and final tip is that IELTS exam is a paper-based exam. So if you are preparing from ebooks, make sure you print out the reading passages and then you read from the booklet. Because in the end, in the exam hall, you have to answer on a booklet and you don't have to read from a computer screen. And trust me, it's much easier to read from a booklet than to read from the computer screen. In the end, I just wanted to say that you have to read 3 passages on your exam day. So 3 long passages is a lot to read, and you have to read for 1 hour continuously. So you should practice that you can read 3 passages in one go and you can read for 1 hour, because it would be very tiring if you haven't practiced it before, and you will get so much tired that you will not be able to read the third passage or answer the questions or focus. So I will advise you to practice to read 3 passages and to read for 1 hour continuously, so that you are able to do that. In the end, I just wish you best of luck for your preparation. I hope to see you in the next video. Also, if you want to see more videos on IELTS preparation and how to improve your English, please watch other videos from our channel. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and keep learning with Nasir and Fatma.